Hello my dear students and welcome to today's session. I hope you are doing well. So the topic for the day is physical and chemical change. As you all can see on your screen also, children, there are a lot of changes which keep on going throughout your life. Okay, the changes can be at your home, in the school, in the marketplace, anywhere it can happen. Okay, so today I am going to explain you about different changes which keep on going through around us, and whether those changes are physical changes or chemical changes. Once the chapter is explained to you, you would be very easily able to tell the changes which are going around you are physical change or a chemical change. So to start with, in our daily life, we observe many changes in our surroundings. These changes can be observed at school, home, playground, parks, roads and many other places. For example, melting of ice, water boils on heating, milk into curd, dissolving of water, ripening of fruit, etc. So these are very common changes which you keep on seeing around you. Okay, now there are two types of changes as I told you. First is physical and the second one is chemical change. Okay. Now, if we talk about physical change, in a physical change, no new substance is formed. It is a temporary change and it can be reversed. If I take a cube of ice, okay, after some time, what I will find that the ice melts and turns into water. And what I will do, the water which I will get, I will again put in the refrigerator and freeze it. Now, the water, the solid form of ice change into water and putting back into the refrigerator. Now what will happen? The water which is in liquid state will again freeze, okay, and it will change its state from liquid to solid. Fine children? So a change where no new substance are formed is called a physical change. There may be a change in shape, size, color, but no chemical reaction takes place. Physical change is a temporary change, as I have told you. Okay. Now, to prove that physical change is a temporary change, we are going to conduct two activities which is mentioned in your book to show that melting of wax is a physical change. Children, what you will do, you will take a test tube and in that you will put some pieces of wax. Now, you will start heating that tube. What will happen after some time? As you are heating the wax in the tube, it will start melting. Okay, the solid form will change into liquid form, and after some time, what will happen? Once you take off this test tube away from the fire and cool it, what will happen? The wax will again turn into solid form. Okay, so heating of wax was a physical change because no new substances formed and the change is reversed. पहले वो solid form में था, फिर liquid हुआ, then when you again cooled it, it again turned into solid form. Fine children? Now, another example for this is to show formation of salt solution is a physical change. What you will do? You will take a small dish, in that put some water and dissolve some salt. What will happen? Now do one thing. Take a Bunsen burner, place that dish as you can see in this figure also. What has been done? That china dish has been placed on a tripod stand and we will start warming it. As the water gets hot, it will evaporate and what is left? The residue which is left is salt. Okay. So with this example and the above example, you came to know that both the changes were physical change. And no new substances formed, we can get the original substance again after some time. Okay. Now on the next page, come to the next page now. Okay. See children, from these above two activities, we can conclude that the physical changes they are usually temporary. Okay, they are usually temporary. They can be reversed by physical method and the composition of matter remains unchanged. Nothing new substances form. Okay. Only physical properties like color, state or smell, etc. are alterated. Alterated means changed over here. Fine. Few more examples of physical changes. Cutting of piece of paper, freezing of water and melting of ice, melting of wax, boiling of water, formation of clouds and magnetization of piece of iron. Now if I talk about the next topic, that is the chemical change. Okay, in a chemical change a new substance is formed. Okay, and the change is irreversible. Moreover, the change is permanent. Okay, change permanent होता है, irreversible होता है और एक new substance form होता है. Fine. This is a change in which an entirely new substance is formed with different properties. The change is usually irreversible and permanent. Fine, children. Now come to the next page. There are few examples shown over here. Different activities are there in which they have explained that chemical change is irreversible. What you will do? The first example is to show cooking of vegetables is a chemical change. Okay, 2 carrots, 2 potatoes, a container with lid and water and burner is required for it. Peel and chop carrots and potatoes, wash them and put them in a container. Pour some water so that vegetables are immersed in water. Now put on the lid container and keep it over the flame for about 15 to 20 minutes. Observe the change. The vegetables become soft. Once you have put the vegetable, they were raw, they were hard, but after some time when you're boiling them, they are cooked now, they become soft. Fine. So the conclusion is the vegetables get cooked and become soft. This change can't be reversed. We can't get back raw vegetables, hence it is a chemical change. Fine, children. Now the next page. To show that burning of magnesium metal is a chemical change. Okay, this is one more activity in which it is shown that burning of magnesium metal is a chemical change. What do you require for that? You require magnesium metal, a pair of tongs so that you can hold. Aapka haath na jale. It's an instrument which is required for holding. Okay, when you are warming your something. Okay. You need a Bunsen burner, a watch glass and a sandpaper. Fine, children. You will take at least a 10 centimeter piece of magnesium ribbon. Okay, and clean it very nicely with the sandpaper. Fine. Take about 10 centimeter of magnesium ribbon, clean it with rubbing with sandpaper. Hold the piece of magnesium ribbon with tongs and heat its end over the Bunsen burner. Fine. Now what will you observe? What are you going to observe? Magnesium starts burning with dazzling light and produces dense white fumes. What will happen? जैसे आपने magnesium को burn करा, किस तरीके की flames आएगी? White fumes. Okay, dense white fumes. Okay, dense means बहुत घनी जिसे कहते हैं. Okay, then and you will be also seeing a dazzling light. So what is the conclusion? White powdery ash can't be changed into magnesium ribbon. जो ash जो आपको राख मिली है, can it change into magnesium ribbon? No, वो change हो ही नहीं सकता. Okay, if I talk about a piece of wood, उसको आपने burn करा, what will the wood turn into? Ash, राख बन जाएगी. Can you get the wood back again from that ash? No, that is also a chemical change. Fine, children. So from the above activities, what you can conclude? That one or more substances are formed, heat or light may be observed or given out. When the chemical changes takes place, heat and light may be given out or may be taken. Okay, heat or light may be observed or given out. The changes is usually permanent and irreversible. Change permanent होता है, उसको reverse नहीं कर सकते. Fine. The composition and properties of the reactants change. और जो हमने substance लिया था उसकी properties change हो जाती है. Fine. Then cooking of food, burning of fuel, rusting of iron, growth of plants and fermentation are some examples of chemical changes. Fine, children. Now there are few more examples of chemical changes. Explosion of firecrackers, growth of plants and animals, burning of dry leaves, burning of fuel like coal, cow dung, gases, LPG, petrol, etc., burning of candle and burning of incense sticks. Incense sticks होती है अगरबत्ती. Okay, आप उसको जलाते हैं तो what happens? Ash form होता है. Can you get the stick back? No. Once the things are changed into ash, you cannot get that thing back from the ashes. Fine, children. Now we'll move to the next one. This is very important. Please listen very carefully. Once this is clear, trust me, ये chapter बहुत आसान हो जाएगा आपके लिए. ठीक है? Properties. Now this is a difference between physical and chemical changes. Okay? Now physical change, only physical properties of substances are changed. In chemical change, both physical and chemical properties of substances are changed. Physical change में क्या हुआ है? Only physical change of the substance. जिस substance को हमने लिया है उसका उसमें physically change करा है, not chemical change. But in chemical change, both physical and chemical changes are taking place simultaneously. In physical change, no new substances form, whereas if we compare with chemical change, new substances are formed. Okay, it is a temporary change, physical change, and in chemical change, just the reverse of it, it is a permanent change. Okay, physical change, it is easily reversible by simple methods, and chemical change, they are irreversible. Okay, chemical change, very less energy is given out or observed. Okay, a very large amount of energy is observed or given out. Fine. Now I hope this is very much clear to you, the physical change and chemical change. So next time if any changes around you, you can easily differentiate whether the changes which is going around you is a physical change or a chemical change. Fine. Now we'll talk about chemicals or chemical substances. This is a beautiful diagram which has been given in your book and very easily explained. Please practice it so that things are very much clear to you. Okay? Look very carefully now. Open your eyes and open your ears as I have been telling you from day one. आँख और कान दोनों खुले रखने हैं. Then only you will be able to understand. इनमें से एक भी चीज बंद हुई नहीं समझ आएगा. Fine? So we know that atoms are the smallest particles of a substance. कोई भी substance किससे बनता है? Atom का. Atom are the smallest particle. Okay? When two or more atoms come together, they form molecules. Okay? Atom जो होता है वो सबसे smallest होता है. Okay? और जब दो atoms एक साथ मिलते हैं तो क्या बनता है? Molecule. Fine? When two atoms combine, what do we get? Molecule. Okay, you can see on the screens also. When these molecules join together, they form what is called a chemical substance. Okay, what do we get? A chemical substance. A chemical substance can be a pure substance that is made up of same kind of molecules or atoms, or they can be a mixture of two or more kinds of atoms and molecules. जो chemical substance हमने यहाँ पे form करा है, मिलता है, ठीक है? It can be a pure substance also and it can be a impure also. Okay, this has been explained very nicely as I told you with the help of this diagram. See, atoms are there. When two atoms are combined, what do you get? You get molecules. Okay, and molecules, when they combine, new chemical substances formed. Okay, that chemical substance can be a pure substance also. It can be impure also. Okay, pure में क्या होता है? Same kind of atoms. Okay, same kind of atoms are there, and impure it may be different. Fine. Now if I talk about pure substances, it is further divided into elements and compounds. किस में divide हुआ है pure substance? Elements and compounds, and elements are further divided into metals and non-metals. Okay, metals and non-metals, and impure substance is further divided into mixture. Fine, children. Please practice this whenever you are free. Keep on practicing this so that things get fixed into your mind and everything is very much clear. Fine. Now the next one. Now what are elements? Elements होते क्या है? Okay, I'll read it out for you, then I'll explain. Elements are pure chemical substances that are made up of same kind of atoms or molecules. Okay, as I told you, elements are the purest form and they are made up of same kind of atoms or molecules. Fine, children? Elements can be metallic or non-metallic. That I have already mentioned when I was taking that diagram of yours. Okay. Then compounds. What are compounds? I told you about elements. Now come to compounds. Compounds are substances formed by a combination of two or more elements. When two or more. Okay. When two or more, the elements, they are combining. What are we getting? We are getting compounds. Fine, children? Fine. Now compounds are substances formed by a combination of two or more elements. The combination of elements to form a compound is called a chemical reaction. Okay. When these two elements, they combine, two or more than two elements combined, they formed compound. Okay. And that combination is called chemical reaction. Fine. Now the next one is, what is a mixture? You all can see on your screens, I hope. Mixtures are substances that are formed by a combination of two or more substances but not chemically. In a mixture, the individual properties of the element are retained. For example, a simple mixture of iron and sulfur will still show a magnetic property. When a magnet is brought near to this mixture, iron in the mixture get attracted by the magnet. Okay, what you will do? You will take two bowls. In one bowl you will take sulfur and in another one iron filings. Iron filings क्या होता है? लोहा होता है. Iron is लोहा. It's a metal. उसका जो चूरा होता है, that is iron filings. Okay, what you will do? You will mix that iron and sulfur together in a separate bowl. Okay, after that what you will do? You will take a magnet and you will bring this magnet close to this bowl. What you will do? That the iron filings, जो उसकी iron होती है, वो उसके ऊपर जाके stick हो जाती है, चिपक जाती है magnet पे. Why? Because iron has the property of being attracted by a magnet. Okay, so that is called a mixture. Now, chemical reactions. When elements combine with one another, chemical reactions take place. Two or more elements react to give compounds. Okay, as I have told you just now also, here also, two or more elements are combining and they are giving compounds. Fine. Now, you can see on your screens, rusting. What is rusting? बहुत simple सी चीज़ है. Rusting सुना होगा. कहते हैं ना जंक लग जाना. कौन सा मेटल होता है? Do we get rusting on a gold, iron, copper? No, children. Iron is the only metal which gets rusted. Okay, iron होता है लोहा. Okay, and rusting उस पर ही होती है. Now, what actually rusting is? Rusting होता क्या है? You must have seen formation of brown flaky substance on the surface of the objects made of iron in the presence of moisture and air. It is called rusting. Okay, and this browny flaky substance is called rust. Okay, now the two conditions necessary for rusting of iron are, the first one is presence of water or water vapor and the second is presence of oxygen. अगर किसी चीज पे रस्ट लगता है, ओके, द थिंग्स विच आर मेड ऑफ आयरन, आयरन मीन्स लोहे से अगर कोई बनी चीज पे रस्ट लगता है तो उसके लिए हमें दो चीजों की बहुत जरूरत होती है. वी नीड टू थिंग्स. द फर्स्ट इज प्रेजेंस ऑफ वाटर or water vapor and presence of oxygen. In case any of this is lacking, rusting will not take place. Okay, so during rusting of iron, iron combines with the moist air to form a mixture of iron oxide and iron hydroxide. This is called rust. See, iron is there, oxygen is there, and water is there. And what are you getting? Iron oxide reaction or iron hydroxide. Fine, children? This is very simple again. Now, how to damage caused to iron objects due to rusting. क्या नुकसान होता है? What are the damages which are caused to iron just due to rusting? If anything get rust, okay, first important thing, the lifetime reduces. The lifespan of that thing reduces, okay, because it becomes very weak then. It is not strong enough, okay. So, the rust makes the metal soft and weak, thereby making the metal useless, and after some time उसका life span खत्म हो जाता है, वो बिल्कुल useless हो जाता है, कबाड़ हो जाता है, scrap हो जाता है, it is nothing, it is of no use, okay. Iron is cheap and easily available metal. It is used extensively in making large number of objects like gates, buses, almirahs, bridges, trucks, etc. Rusting is an irreversible process and causes a great deal of loss and damage. Since rusting is a continuous wasteful process, so we must find out the ways of preventing rusting. Children, whatever you see around you, all means of transport, bridges, railways, everything, they are made up of iron, because iron is the cheapest and easily available metal. Fine. So most of the things which we see around us are made of metal. Now how to prevent this rusting? Okay, things as made, bridges बने हुए हैं, उनको safe भी तो रखना है, so that it can be used for throughout their life. Okay, first is painting. What you will do? Iron railings, grills can be prevented from rusting by painting them with paints. Okay, second is coating with other metal. First was painting, second is coating with other metal. Galvanization, that is coating the iron objects with a layer of zinc, prevents them from rusting. Okay, zinc जो होता है, हम क्या करते हैं, उसको liquid form करके उसके ऊपर एक coat चढ़ा देते हैं, so that air का और iron का जो है contact खत्म हो जाए. They does not come in direct contact with each other. So due to that, we either paint or we go for galvanization. Fine, children. Now by converting iron to stainless steel, molten iron can be mixed with other metals like carbon, chromium and nickel in fixed amount. On cooling, an alloy called stainless steel is formed. It does not rust in presence of moist air. Things like surgical instruments, cooking utensils, knives, spoons, forks can be made from stainless steel. Fine. I hope this is very much clear to you. Now moving to the next page. Okay. Browning of fruits and vegetables. Children, you must have seen, if your mother cuts an apple for you or a banana for you, any fruit she cuts and she keeps in the plate and you don't eat, after some time what you will find, there would be a brown coating on it. Okay, children, avoid eating that, because that is really not good for health. Always eat the fruit as soon as it is cut. Okay, so you can see, cut an apple and keep it on the plate for some time. After an hour or so, you will see that the apple has turned brown. Why did this happen? क्यों हुआ है ऐसा? This happened because the chemicals present in the apple reacted with the oxygen of the air. है ना, क्या था, एप्पल में भी केमिकल था और एटमॉस्फेयर में जो एयर है, उन दोनों ने आपस में रिएक्शन हुआ, एंड व्हाट इज फॉर्म, अ ब्राउन पिगमेंट कॉल्ड मेलानिन is formed. This is called browning. Browning can be prevented by soaking the cut vegetables in water. If they are under water, this prevents them from coming in contact with the atmospheric oxygen. Okay. Now, the other one, I hope this is clear to you. What is browning? Whenever the fruits are cut and left for some time, what happens? The chemicals present in the fruits, they react with the oxygen in the air and a brown coating called melanin is formed. Fine. Now moving to the next topic. Reaction between vinegar and baking soda. Vinegar और baking soda में क्या reaction होते हैं? Now start. Take baking soda in a beaker and dissolve it in water. एक baking soda लिया एक beaker में और उसको dissolve करा. Now add few drops of vinegar. Evolution of gas is observed when you are mixing. आपको you will observe कि थोड़ा सा gas निकल रहा है. Okay, coming out. Prepare fresh lime water. Hold this lime water at the mouth of the beaker so that the evolving gas enters in the test tube. The lime water in the test tube turns milky when the gas entering into it. This gas is identified as carbon dioxide because the lime water is turning into milky, and carbon dioxide always turns the lime water milky. So vinegar and baking soda is making, when they are combined, a gas called carbon dioxide is evolved. Okay. Now the next one, reaction between copper sulfate and iron filings. Okay. Copper sulfate solution is blue in color. Okay. Copper sulfate का क्या जो solution होता है उसका क्या color होता है? It's blue. Add few iron filings into the solution. You will see after some time that the solution turns green. Before it was blue and now it is becoming green. Okay. When there is brown and there is a brown deposition of iron filings. Okay. When iron filings are added to the copper sulfate solution, it replaces copper to form iron sulfate. Hence, the green color is that of the iron sulfate, and the copper release gets deposited on the iron filings. You can see here also copper sulfate is there. You have put some iron filings, and after that, when they both are mixed together, you will get iron sulfate and copper. Fine, children. Now the last topic is, come to the last one, crystallization. What is crystallization? Crystals क्या होते हैं? What are crystals? Crystals होते हैं, have you seen a diamond? Diamond होता है a piece of glass. Okay. Crystal form में होता है. It's very much shiny और सुंदर सा shape होता है. Okay. So what is crystallization? Somewhere related to that only. The process in which crystals are formed from saturated solution of the substance is called crystallization. The table salt that we use is formed by crystallization of sodium chloride. The salt obtained from the sea is dissolved in water. The solution is made to pass through filters to remove impurities and then boil. Boiling removes water, leaving behind crystals of sodium chloride. These formed crystals are free from other impurities. Okay. Then crystals are the purest form of substance with a definite geometrical shape. It has a definite shape and it is a geometrical shape. Fine. Now there is one more activity. To prepare crystals of copper sulfate by the process of crystallization. What all things are required? You need copper sulfate powder, you need dilute sulfuric acid, tripod stand, Bunsen burner, stirrer and wire gauze. Okay, what all you need? You need copper sulfate powder, you need dilute sulfuric acid, tripod stand, Bunsen burner, stirrer so that you can stir, you can dissolve, and a wire gauze. Okay, now what you will do? Take a cup full of water in a beaker and add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to it. What you will do? You will take a cup of water and in that water you will add diluted sulfuric acid. Heat the water on the burner. अब क्या करना है? उस ट्यूब को आपको वो करना है, warm करना है, ठीक है? You have to heat it. When it starts boiling, add copper sulfate powder slowly with continuous stirring. Now once it starts boiling, उसके अंदर क्या डालना है? What you have to put? You have to put copper sulfate. Okay, and you are going to add that copper sulfate in a powdery form, and you will keep on stirring. Stirring means उसको हिलाते रहना है. You have to stir it. Okay. When it starts boiling, add copper sulfate powder slowly with continuous stirring. Continue adding powdered copper sulfate till no more powder can be dissolved, and you have to dissolve that much copper sulfate into it कि उसके आगे वो हो ही ना सके to that extent. Okay, you will get saturated solution of copper sulfate. Filter the solution and allow it to cool. Now filter it, remove that diluted sulfuric acid and allow it to cool. Do not disturb the solution for almost 24 hours. You are not going to disturb at least for a day the solution which is left. Now after 24 hours, large blue crystals of copper sulfate can be seen at the bottom of the beaker. Separate these crystals by filtration and let them dry. Conclusion: pure large copper sulfate crystals are obtained by the process of crystallization. Since no new substance is formed, crystallization is an example of a physical change. कोई new substance form ही नहीं हुआ, nothing is formed. So this is the best example of physical change. Fine. I hope you have understood very nicely whatever I taught you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.